Welcome to Revoicing the Future, a Women of NAMM podcast, presented by AKG. Just as one revoices a chord, Revoicing the Future creates a completely new perspective on the invaluable notes that make up the whole. It will uplift women's voices in the music products industry, which have earned their time to be the root of the chord. Once a month, you can catch productive and valuable conversations with women working in manufacturing, retail, the nonprofit sector, music education, touring, and overall women who inspire us. Together, we can help shape the future of our industry, one interval at a time. This podcast is co-produced and edited by Natalie Morrison, Stephanie Lamond, and Julia Olsen. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Revoicing the Future. I'm your host, Natalie Morrison. Thank you for tuning in as always. It has been a while. How's everyone doing? I haven't spoken to you all in a proper introduction like this in a while because last month's episode with True Peak Hour, we just kind of wanted to dive into that. And we had so much fun with those ladies that I'm still riding that little wave. I hope everyone's doing well. It is October as you're listening to this, but as I'm recording this, it is still September. And it is a rainy, cold fall day. It's the first rainy weekend with fall temperatures that we've experienced. So my apartment currently smells like butternut squash soup, and it's cozy, and I'm cozy and warm, and I hope everyone takes these cozy vibes with them as they get ready to dive into this episode, because this is a fun one. But before we do that, I just wanted to shout out that the Women of NAMM Leadership Summit is happening this month. So I'm sending all the well wishes and best of luck to all the women selected this year. And I just hope you get so much out of the experience as much as my class did. And I'm just excited to hear and welcome a new group of alumni to the summit program. Woohoo! We're so excited. This is great. Yay! I'm really excited for this episode personally, because this is a dear friend of mine that I've been wanting to have for a while, but I wanted to do it when the time was right. And the time is right. And I'm just so ecstatic to welcome Erin Kessler to the podcast. She is the marketing director of Maple Leaf Strings, and we are both on the NAMM Young Professionals Board of Directors together. She is currently serving as vice president of the NAMM-YP board. We started our NAMM-YP journey together in the same class, and we were in the same leadership summit together. I love Erin. This episode pretty much encompasses our friendship in a nutshell. It's fun. It's funny. We talk about everything. And she's just the most hilarious, down-to-earth human you're ever going to know. And I'm just excited for the world to see what I love about her come to life and what she brings to this industry. So with that, I'm just going to have the episode take it from here. So sit back, relax, get cozy, enjoy those fall vibes, and I will see you next time. Hi, Erin. Welcome to Revoicing the Future. We're so excited to have you on the podcast.
I'm so excited to be here.
Woo! It's going to be so fun.
Yes.
And just to give everyone some backstory, Erin and I are actually friends in real life, and we're good friends. And this is just going to be a really fun episode. We always start our episodes by learning about you and your story. And you have a lot of hands in a lot of different baskets. So why don't we just start from the beginning and talk about how you got into music and where you are today?
Okay. So I guess really my story starts before me. My family owned a music store called Colonial Music in Ohio. Lots of different stores all over the place. And as soon as I could read is when I could start piano. So I started piano right away. And then as soon as I could reach the repair bench, I started polishing brass mouthpieces. And then did that for a while, playing piano, and it was fun. And then I was finally in fourth grade, which was the age that they're like, you can play an instrument. What do you want to play? And I was like, I want to play clarinet, because my mom played clarinet. My grandma played clarinet. My brother played clarinet. My dad says he plays saxophone. I'm not entirely sure.
That's funny.
So I was like, I want to play clarinet. I was this itty bitty little thing. And they started me on E flat clarinet, which is awful. But I had so much fun and I loved it. And my little itty bitty fingers covered the itty bitty little holes. Fast forward to the summer before 5th grade. I've been playing for a year. I am having a great time. And they're like, all right, now we got to switch to the big clarinet. And I was like, great, wonderful, so exciting. But I don't remember that they ever explained that my fingers would have trouble covering the big holes. So I immediately went from like, I can play to I can't play. I couldn't get it. And I just got really mad one evening. I walked out after practicing and I told my mom, Dad's like, I'm quitting clarinet. I hate it. I don't want to do this. This is not fun. I suck. And I don't know what I was expecting, but they were like, okay, what do you want to play? I was like, oh, I want to play trombone. A kid whose fingers aren't big enough to cover the holes on a clarinet, you can imagine, probably has T-Rex arms. Like trombone is another instrument that's not going to work. But they're like, well, maybe we could try it out. So we went over to the shop that weekend and they pulled out a trombone and they're like, you know, if you really like it and your arms aren't long enough, they have those little extenders that give you like 2 more inches. They're like, we'll put one of those on. So I start playing the trombone and I don't remember what it sounds like, but I remember being told years later that it was just awful, just not good at all. I didn't realize this and I didn't get any of the facial cues that it was not good. So I was having a blast. So they're like, maybe just to like soften the blow of this isn't going to work. They're like, maybe if we try 3/4 baritone, those are exactly the same thing. That's the same bore. It's the same mouthpiece. It's going to sound just as bad. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Because then when I grow up, I can switch. So I play the baby baritone. It sounds the same. I'm still having a blast. My grandma comes out from the back and she's in like her like tweed suit and her leather shoes. And she's like got spreadsheets and she pulls down her glasses. She's like, what's that noise? And I'm just sitting there just like, it's me. And she's like, oh.
You're just so proud of yourself.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. Like I finally get to do this. And she's like, oh, French horn. And I was like, okay, fine. So I started on a 3/4 size French horn. And I was so small still that it was too heavy to hold up off of my leg, too tall to sit on my leg. The mouthpiece is like in my forehead. Oh so I sat with the bell like between my legs on the seat for like a year.
Is there photographic evidence?
Well, I don't know. This was the 90s. So no, I'm a second child. There's no photographic evidence of me. Yeah. And now I have a master's degree in French horn performance.
Yes. Look
Yeah.
Climbing the brass ladder.
Yes. Yeah. Got my undergrad at Akron, master's at LSU in horn performance.
Love that.
That's the journey of me playing French horn.
All right. So you got your undergrad, you got your master's. Now what?
Oh boy. I freelanced for a while in Louisiana, lived in New Orleans. Played in some symphonies here and there, but I needed to have steady money. So I was still in the National Guard, Army National Guard. I joined the day after my 17th birthday in 2005 in the band. So one of the cool things that I get to do is, this sounds really sad, but it's actually really awesome, is military funeral honors. So veterans who pass away or people who die in combat or anything like that, I had the joy of providing some closure to a family through playing taps and floating a flag. And that brought a really good, steady income and kind of made my heart swell up like the Grinch 3 times every day. So it doesn't seem like a really cool job or anything like that, but I loved it. That was in New Orleans. And then my husband and I moved to Cincinnati, back to Ohio in 2015 maybe, and I needed a job. I could do funeral honors again, but I was kind of looking for something different. And my family had sold the music store when I went to college because none of us kids wanted a job in the music products industry.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
So my grandma was like, "Oh, you're in Cincinnati, go work for Bill Harvey over at Buddy Rogers Music." I was like, "Can do." So I was there for 3 years, did everything from product specialist for brass. I was learning to be the buyer and what all that entailed, which was really cool. And then I switched to the dark side of manufacturing, and I've been at Maple Leaf Strings doing marketing and design for 5 years now. Yeah.
Look at that.
All caught up.
What a journey.
Yeah.
Did you work at your family store growing up?
Yeah. So if you were tall enough to reach the repair bench, you were polishing mouthpieces, vacuuming out rental cases, all that kind of stuff, prepping instruments for rental season, because saxophones come and they've got all these little tiny corks all over the place to keep the pads closed during shipping. So I loved that job, just flicking them out. I never really did a lot of sales in high school. Our store in my hometown was small. I mean, that I can remember. We're talking 2000s here, a long time ago. Oh gosh. So it was more of like janitor, paper pusher. I was a champion envelope stuffer. So good at that.
Love it.
I could stamp envelopes like nobody's business.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I also, in my summers in college, I worked in the repair shop at Elefante.
Love that.
Doing all the violin and viola repairs for the rental season. The things that these kids would do to their cases and instruments.
There was a long time in my life before Goo Gone existed.
Oh, that's the best.
That I was just scrubbing cases with Fantastic or 409 until they just weren't sticky anymore. Like, oh my gosh.
As a violist, I know, I get it, but the stickers on the fingerboard, then sitting there and having to get them off, just not fun.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, so I did that for a while, and then I went to college, and I didn't work in the store anymore.
So you mentioned in this little journey saga that you just shared that you were part of the National Guard in the Army and you joined at 17.
Yeah.
So first, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'd love to learn about why you decided to join the Army. Let's start there.
Okay. So I joined at 17. I joined because I didn't know what else to do. Everyone in my family, like my parents met in the unit. My dad was the commander when I joined. My brother was in the unit. Before that, both of my grandfathers were in the Army bands. And I was like, well, obviously that's what I have to do. I love it. It's what I've grown up around. I know all these people already. I'm fit and I liked running and working out. I was like, this is great. And also, I needed to pay for college. And in Ohio, they had 100% tuition coverage for any state funded school.
Wow.
So I got all my tuition covered. And then because Akron was awesome, if you had scholarships and your tuition was covered, they would take your fees out of that and then write you a check.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I continued to stay in because I really liked it. I really liked the people. Then when I went to Louisiana, if you are in the Army there, they also do a tuition exemption. So I also got my master's degree for free. I mean, how can you beat that? But, outside of that, I continue to stay in because I get to play my horn and guitar or whatever else for funsies.
And you tour.
And I tour. Yeah. Every summer we go on a tour for 2.5 weeks all around the state of Ohio. I get to partake in marketing all of that. I do some of the logistics operations part of it, like meeting with site venues and everything like that, which I never knew that was part of it. When I first joined, I was like, oh, I just show up and play my French horn. Everything's great. Marches, John Philip Sousa. Woo. But there's like so much of the background that, I never knew about. So many of like I'll call them extracurriculars of different schools that I've gotten to go to. Like, yes, I did the whole regular basic training boot camp thing. I went to the Army School of Music for a summer. And I've gotten to go to, now it's called basic leader course, but when I went, it was called warrior leader course. So like, it sounds like really, really cool. It was, but I get to shoot stuff sometimes, which is really great. But I've also gotten to really dive deep into mental health and resilience as skills. I've gotten to take the mental health first aid course through the Army, assist courses for those who are contemplating suicide.
Wow.
And, some pretty serious stuff. Gotten to learn about intervention with sexual harassment and sexual assault and how to deal with that. And, just through life experiences too, I've gotten to learn so much that I would not have been exposed to otherwise.
That's amazing. And it kind of coincides with my next question. It's like, what have you learned about yourself during this experience that you apply to your day-to-day?
Day-to-day, when I meet someone else in the military, we immediately get along, which I thought was really cool at first. Like, oh, we have just so much in common. And then I learned it's like trauma bonding. Sorry, got a little dark. I immediately have a new friend, which is fantastic. And I love that.
Yeah.
But day to day, I would say it's given me this, some might say, unhealthy work habit where I just, as my old CFO, Brad Patterson, would always say, you just soldier on. When there's something that I need to do, that I want to do, I will do it until it is done. And I will get it done, and it'll be efficient, and it will be really good. And I think part of that is from the military. I just work really hard.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
And you've been also super involved as vice president of NAMM Young Professionals.
Yes.
You've been bringing more awareness around mental health. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really beautiful thing too, because it's not something that we typically talk about often enough, which I believe needs to change.
Yeah.
You've taken what you've learned and you're applying it in other things. And I just think that's really beautiful.
Yeah. Ever since I took mental health first aid, so my friend Jeremy Stream, he is retiring next year from the Army. I'll try not to cry the entire year, but I might, because he's one of my favorite people.
Aww.
He's been my squad leader, my platoon leader for countless times, gotten me through so many crappy parts of life, but has also been just a big advocate of celebrating successes, even the small ones. So when I finally was at a place in my career and networked enough, I was like, I need mental health to be brought to the music industry, because the music industry is hard, even though it's not life or death. It's work, it's hard. And it is not something that we talk about, because it has been for such a long time a male-dominated industry that previous generations didn't talk about mental health the way that we do. So I'm now in a position where I can bring that in, and I can be like, Jeremy, let's do this. I know someone who is a musician who does this. Like, let's do it. And like, seeing the mental health series come out in NYP is just brings me so much joy. Oh, I love it. It's so great.
Yeah, we've had 2 already, and both conversations have been really, really awesome. And yeah, as women, like, we've experienced some wild things that people can talk about if they are comfortable with, but providing resources where necessary to make the industry or trade shows or events safer for women, I think is really valuable. Yeah. So thank you for doing that work.
Yeah. I love to do it. I can talk about it all day.
I want to transition and talk about Women of NAMM for a second, because we both were in the same class for the Women of NAMM Leadership Summit. And I will never, I'm going to tell this story because I just think it's so funny.
Okay.
I don't know if you know which story I'm going to tell, but we only hung out in person once before we went to the summit, and I got off the plane and I was like, can I shower in your room? Because my room wasn't ready and I like couldn't bear to have like plane on me.
Yeah.
But you're just like, sure.
But we had been on the board together for a couple months at that point.
Sure.
So
yeah.
Best friends.
Best friends forever. Okay. But on a serious note, we both learned a lot about each other and we discovered parts of our individual selves that we didn't necessarily know, which I think was one of the most beautiful things from that whole experience. What were some of your biggest takeaways?
The one that hits me first right away is that was one of the first places that I started advocating for myself. Not many people know that I struggle to hear things. I wear hearing aids, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's frowned upon in the music industry, but it's for so long, it has been a topic that people don't really talk about. Hearing loss and music, like they go hand in hand.
Yes.
So this is one of the first places where I asked for accessibility, and it was met with open arms. And I was like, wow, awesome. Thank you. This is great. And I think from that moment on, it has been continued. Like I keep asking for accessibility. I keep asking for things to just make my daily life easier. And it gets easier every time when I ask it. And that all started because I was in a place where it was welcomed. I would say that's one of the biggest things about myself that kind of hit home and continues to hit home.
I love that. You also coined the term Lady Bro Network.
Yeah, I knew my lady bros.
Why is finding your group of lady bros important to your career growth?
When you think about who is most like you and why they're most like you can connect with people on a deeper level. And going through the summit and finding my lady bros, because I can't call them bros, they're my lady bros. You know, I just now have this like wealth of knowledge that I can contact anytime, just sitting in my back pocket. And I know that every single one of those lady bros has my best interest at heart when I ask them for help. But through that experience, we're also taught to listen objectively and analyze from all angles. And having that at any point in my day just makes it easier to get through stuff. Whether that's I text and reach out or I don't, it's fine. But yeah, I think from that experience, like I feel like I had a large network of people that I could call on, but then it just like quadrupled and opened up so many new connections from people that weren't even at our summit, but just knowing, oh, you've also had that experience. Well, heck, you're my lady bro too. Welcome to our club. So I'm excited for this next class to go through and then have a whole nother conglomerate of lady bros that are like cousins.
I know. And when this episode goes live, they're going to be in the middle of it, which is wild.
I'm so jealous. I want to go back.
I want to be back in the chrysalis.
Yes. Ugh, such beautiful memories.
Such a grand old time. I loved it. Yeah. It was amazing.
So much crying. We're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay. So one thing that stands out to me about you and what I personally love about you is your natural love of comedy and improv.
Yes.
And you even wrote an article for Music Inc.
I did.
Entitled How I Became Less Awkward. So can you talk to us about your journey with improv and then how it helped shape a shift in your networking mindset?
Yes. So today is actually my 3-year anniversary of improv.
Woo!
I started 3 years ago. Oh my God, I'm such a baby. Yeah. So my former CFO, who I'd always call my boss, and he'd be like, no, we're colleagues. He essentially forced me to take improv. And at the time, I was like, oh God, a room full of strangers that I have to talk to? Absolutely not. I don't want to do that. So I did it and I loved it. And later on, I was like, why? Why did you make me do this? And he said that He wanted me to see myself as others see me, as fun, as open and energetic and charismatic. And he wanted me to see that because I didn't. So knowing that and then going through all these classes, that it's basically learning how to play again as an adult, which is so fun. I don't know if you remember playing as a kid.
Yeah.
But it's great. So learning how to do that has changed my networking because I'm still awkward, but I know how to turn that around and basically put on the Erin mask of the we're best friends and I'm going to make you feel comfortable because I want to be comfortable. And what I've learned that the hardest thing about talking to someone is just that first word that escapes your mouth. Is hi can be so hard because you never know, is my voice going to crack? Are they going to hear me? So once you can get past that, typically whoever you're talking to is going to notice if you're nervous, if you're scared. And most people are nice. So they're going to kind of see that, recognize that, and take that in and try to make you feel comfortable because we want people to feel comfortable around us. Like that's just our nature as human beings. We don't want to scare people.
Right.
So I've learned that if I can talk about things that aren't real, that are completely made up on the fly with someone I don't know in front of an audience, I can talk to a stranger about things that are real in front of nobody.
That's powerful. And you hosted a session at this past NAMM show in April.
I did, all about branding. I had so much fun. I even made jokes on stage.
Look at you.
I know. I'm funny.
It brings so much joy. You're also bringing some of your improv and comedy sketches to the Instagram, TikTok world and going viral.
I am going, well, yeah, I went viral. Now I'm just trying to keep it going because I think it's funny. And I think I'm funny. And some people think I'm funny as well. So I went viral in June or July. And,
yeah, I remember you constantly updating us.
It's got 10,000 views, you guys. Look, I'm so amazing. I think now that one corn video is up to like 1.5 million views.
1.5 million views?
1.5 million views. Yeah.
I really appreciated the people in the comments like trying to fight you on it too.
Those are my favorite. I actually love the haters so much because here's the backwards part of it that I don't think the haters realize is the more the haters comment, the more other people come in to try and defend me, and I get more comments, and that puts me better off in the algorithm. So haters, yes, keep commenting. I love it because I'm going to comment back. I'm just going to say like, wow, you're a joy to have at family gatherings, I bet.
See, I told you guys this episode is going to be one for the books. Okay, so on a serious note, as we're starting to prep and plan for the January NAMM show, which I cannot believe we're talking about, what advice do you have for women planning to attend their first NAMM show and feel a sense of awkwardness when interacting with people who might seem intimidating to them?
Yeah. First, I will always say, wear comfortable shoes.
Advice number one.
And that's just not because your feet will hurt. If your brain is thinking about how bad your feet hurt, or my pants are too tight, or I don't like this shirt, that's going to make you feel more awkward. So if you're comfortable, you're going to just be more comfortable in your own skin. And sometimes that can be hard enough. So just being physically comfortable is going to help your brain be mentally comfortable. So that's just one. Also, everyone looks good in Chucks, so you can't argue that. But as far as actually talking to people, just say hello. If you know somebody from something, go up and say, hi, I know you from such and such. Or if you have a mentor and they have a connection, oh yeah, my mentor is so-and-so. Or I play this instrument that your company makes, or I want to play that instrument that your company makes, or whatever it is. If you've never met me and you're like, oh, I've heard you before, come say hi. I will be just as awkward with you. And what I love about talking to other awkward people is when we both admit that we feel real awkward.
The trauma bonding again.
How'd you know? I have, one of my friends, he'll remain nameless just so I don't call him out. For a while, we would just kind of like nod in passing. And we both knew who each other were, but we were just super awkward. And one day I was like, hi, I just wanted to say hi because like we always nod and like I'm just super awkward. Like that's what I started. I'm just super awkward, but I wanted to have a conversation. I don't know about what, but hi. And usually that other awkward person is having the same exact little panicky moments where they're just gonna be like,
right.
Same, hi. So now this guy and I, whenever we're at industry events, it is now a race. Who can say hi first? The most awkward.
Oh my
Like
God.
I'll see him at NASD or something and I'll just be like, whoa, there he is around the corner. And I do like this stupid little shuffle jog. So I'm not running, but like I look silly. And I'll just be like, hi. And then keep walking. I'm like, I won. This is great.
I love that. That's amazing. It's hard. There's some people who I've found so intimidating because I look up to them and I so highly respect them.
Yeah.
But then when I start talking to them, I'm like, oh, okay, I got this.
You're really nice. You're a normal human. Wow.
This is great. We can just have a conversation and it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like helped me like get over that.
I find the lead up and the first word is always just so difficult. But after that, it's easy.
I always say to like, give yourself a little pep talk before. Like, you got this. My thing too, if I'm nervous or other emotions aside from normal Natalie, I sing my like responses. I'm like, I'm so nervous. Like I just I just burst out into song as if I'm like a walking musical.
Yes, I love that.
I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, that's my coping mechanism. And it helps sometimes because then people start laughing and they're like, oh, like you're just like you're yourself, like you're just being yourself. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. What more can you ask from somebody than to be their authentic selves?
Exactly. Yeah. So with all of the time and energy that you contribute to your work, partners, women of NAMM, NAMM-YP, how do you recharge your batteries?
That is a good question. That's a very hard question.
You can thank Anna for that one.
Oh, is this listener submitted?
This is a listener submitted question.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Erin here. I'd like to know. So when I first read this question, when you sent it, I was like, I don't.
I don't.
I'm just living on fumes.
That's a very honest answer, though, because some people have very set ways that they recharge their batteries, and that's perfect and wonderful. But then sometimes you have the influencers out in the world who are like, I do this, and this every night. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Who has time for that? That is a 3-hour nighttime routine. I ain't got time for that.
But I think this is a very honest answer.
Yeah,
like I appreciate.
Recharge is different for how I'm feeling every day. So normally for me, going to the gym makes me feel better. The past 2 months, I haven't been able to go to the gym because I had ankle surgery and I've been like just a cat trying to get out of a box. Just I can't get out. I went back yesterday and it felt so good just to move. I'm not even doing crazy stuff. Just stepping up on a box feels great. But usually that gives me a place to kind of get out of my head, gives me a place to sweat, kind of get the ick out of me. And sometimes it's playing piano. Sometimes it's having a bourbon with some friends. Sometimes it's I'm going to bed at 8:00 at night. I don't care. I'm tired. And then I doom scroll for 3 hours and then I finally fall asleep. I don't know. It just, every day is different on what I need to recharge.
When we go to the NAMM show, that's a very highly stimulated environment for like 5 days. So are there ways that you recharge yourself there, or do you just go full force, soldier on, and then like collapse once you get back to Ohio?
It's all of the above. So I do collapse when I get home and I need like a day or two. Luckily, since I'm on the East Coast, going to the show and waking up early is really easy. So I go to the gym and do CrossFit at like 5 a.m. because that's the time that works for me and my friend Rob. And then
Wait, you go at the show?
Yeah. CrossFit Anaheim.
Wait, I did not know this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I get up real early because I'm already awake because I'm on East Coast time, so I'm 3 hours ahead. So I get up really early. I go to the gym. I have a banana. And then that's what Rob's always like, I have a banana. I'm like, all right, I'll go. If you give me a banana, I'm there. And then every day I take an everything shower. And then
why is that becoming a term? That's all of a sudden it's
because it makes sense. Like to me, an everything shower is I'm shaving, I'm conditioning my hair, I'm taking my time, I'm enjoying this shower. And then I have a Pump Up Jams playlist. And I'm probably that turd in the hotel singing rap music at, 7 a.m. to get myself pumped up. Macklemore gets me, like an everything shower, some Macklemore, and I'm ready to hit the show floor. Also, I love to see my friends. So I love getting to the floor. I love seeing all my friends. And that is just super exciting to me. The last night of the show is also a good time for me to kind of recharge a little bit because the show, like the campus is empty and there's no one there.
Oh, yeah.
And that walk back to the hotel the last night, like after I say goodbye to all my friends, makes me so sad.
Oh,
so sad. And I'm just crying, walking. But it's also like I have that time to myself and I really enjoy that time.
Right, because you've been so highly stimulated this entire time. And then it's just like that immediate crash.
It's immediately done. Immediately done. Until you show up at the airport and you're on the same flight with someone else and then it's all over again.
True. Very true. My mind is blown that you actually do CrossFit at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning in Ohio at that time. So it's not that crazy.
No, I know. But it's still like, wow.
Amped.
I love that for you. Okay. Final question.
Okay.
I view you as a leader in this industry because you are. So what do you hope to see in these next few years, especially for women? Changes, future of the industry?
What do I hope to see for women in the next few years in the industry? I want to see more women. I want the Women of NAMM scholarship to be bigger. I want to have more mentors and mentees in the Women of NAMM. I want to see a continuing leadership course. Like we've done step 1. What's step 2? What's Leadership Summit 2.0?
I love that.
So I love that there is a Women of NAMM scholarship. I want to see it be larger. Like
for the show. Okay.
Like I know there's a stipend to get people to the show. And that is also in hopes that their employer backs them up and helps provide monetarily. I want to see that be larger so that someone can go to the show for free. Because it's really expensive. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Flights aren't cheap. Hotels aren't cheap. Food's not cheap. The only thing that's free is mentorship and networking and friends.
Well, to help get that actually happening is to encourage everyone to donate.
Yes.
To the Women of NAMM Fund, which links will be down below.
Donate because you help people like me go to the summit.
I love it. Thank you so much, Erin. This was such a joy, and you're such a beautiful light in the industry. And I love you so much. So thank you for coming on here and sharing your story and wisdom with us all.
I love you too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Revoicing the Future. You can subscribe to the podcast on all major streaming platforms or visit our website. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay up to date on all things Women of NAMM. This episode was co-produced and edited by Natalie Morrison, Stephanie Lamond, and Julia Olsen. Together, we can help shape the future of our industry, one interval at a time. See you next time.